good, YouTube? It's your boy Dev back again for another first listen to my nigga Pliz ain't. So you know, Kendrick Lamar has you know, released a picture on his Instagram, you know, with the Roman numerals 4, and I'm assuming, you know, it's a lot of been talk that he's like talking about being done with the album or whatnot. So I think that's like a little preview. So you know, I thought this was the perfect time to make a video about it. I get probably comments on it every single day of you guys asking or you guys commenting when I did Untitled Unmastered last year, and I said that To Pimp a Butterfly was his worst work. Now, a lot of people on the internet, man, are definitely simple-minded, you know, once they hear shit like worse, bad, you know, stuff like that, and you know, they put it into their own context, they think that it's like, oh shit, I'm saying To Pimp a Butterfly is a bad album. Now, understand, when I say worse, you know what I'm saying, when there's a worse and there's a best, you know, something has to be at the bottom. If you're talking about Kobe, Shaq, Michael, LeBron, you know what I'm saying, who's the worst? These are all legends, but who's the worst? Somebody has to be at the bottom. So it's the same concept here, man, when it comes to, you know, Kendrick's album. To be honest, for me, I think that Good Kid, Maad City is his best work. It is his best work. It is what it is. It's, you know, the message it gave off, you know, his past experience in life. Just the overall production of the album was just, it was just very well put together. I felt like that was his complete project right there. It just had everything, man. I liked it. It sounded good. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. You can be the most lyrical artist you want to be. Like, it is. Look, I'm a Lupe Fiasco fan. You could be the most lyrical genius there is on this planet. If you don't have great production, I don't care how good the lyrics are, people aren't going to fuck with it. It's not going to be that great. I mean, if you listen to a lyrics and you're one of those people that actually, like, you know, focus on every bar, then yes, you're gonna enjoy it. But if you don't have great production, then you're not gonna enjoy it. Let me give you a perfect example. Hopsin has bars, but you know, he has so much bars that people think it's corny and his production is just ass. That's what people think about him. Like, he can put all the clever lines together as much as he wants, but until he gets his production right, until he gets tracks that sound good, it's gonna be an up and down for Hopsin. That's just how I feel about that. But you know, like I said, this is about Kendrick. So then we got my next one, Section 80. To me, Section 80 had a lot of watery sounds, man. It was just very different, very dark. I just felt like he had a lot of different sounds in Section 80. It was just like the new coming of Kendrick Lamar. Like, oh, here we go, a different Kendrick. Because when we get to OD, it's just like, oh, you listen to OD and it's just like, oh shit, like, okay, you got this rapper here, very laid back, looking at from a West Coast perspective. He's explaining his outlook on it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt like with OD. But with Section 80, it was kind of like his Equipment Eye album. You know what I'm saying? It brought the different side of Kendrick out. You know, very dark Kendrick. You know, getting tracks like Tammy Song. You know, Fuck Your Ethnicity. ADHD. Like, come on, man. This was a different side of Kendrick. Like some of the hype tracks we got from it too as well. Spiteful Chant. Like, come on, man. Like, Section 80 to me was his transition, I feel like, you know, into the Kendrick that we got in Good Kid, Maad City. You know, OD now. For me, OD, like I said, music is what you can relate to. Music is how you feel. Music, it depends on the setting, you know, of your situation. I feel like for OD, it was just one of those not saying really a smoker's album, but it was definitely one of those albums you just put in the car, you just lay back. One of them, you just cooling, man. You feel like one of them tracks you just want to ride with the top down. You want to listen to some real shit. Just listen to OD. Like, we got tracks like Ignorance is Bliss, you know what I'm saying? Cut You Off. You know, like, shit crazy, Growing Apart. You know what I'm saying? I felt like this track right here, Overly Dedicated, was his emotional album. You know, like on a standpoint of how he's feeling, starting album. That's what people don't understand too. Whenever you start, man, you start with a sound. Whenever you start off your career in music, you always start off, and that's the people that that's the sound that people put on you. Like, you know, for example, like Drake. Everybody, once Drake did So Far Gone, or even we go back before into Heartbreak Drake days, you know, that's the sound that people miss. So, you know, when people transition, people think of you as like, nah, that's what they fucked with. So I feel like Overly Dedicated was his third best. Like, for me, it just had a lot of heartfelt tracks in there, a lot of shit he was speaking to me on a real level. I mean, and the production was just great too, man. Like I felt like, you know, for it being his first project, I'm sitting there just like, damn, like okay, overly dedicated, man. Like you got some shit right here. I remember Pussy and Patron too. Like I'm like, it's so crazy too because you didn't think that Kendrick Lamar was this type of cat. You know what I'm saying? Like you thought, like you never knew that Kendrick Lamar was gonna evolve into this guy that he is now. You know, this spiritual, very conscious, you know, very woke rapper. You know, listening to Overly Dedicated, he was a very conscious rapper, but he had fun with it. You know what I'm saying? So then we get, I don't count Untitled Unmastered either because those are throwaway tracks from To Pimp a Butterfly. So then we get into Pimp a Butterfly. Not saying it was a hyped album, definitely not by far saying it was a hyped album, but I feel at this point everybody and their mom was on Kendrick. You know, like they were on Kendrick. They were waiting for his next one. Good Kid, Mad City came out last year. Legendary classic track, legendary classic album. It was legendary, man. When I listened to Good Kid, Mad City, nothing was touching that. Like that was probably like the most crazy shit I felt in a while. I listened to Good Kid, Mad City. You know, just looking at Kendrick's view, you know, from gang violence to, you know, not trying to be a part of that, but being a part of that life. You know, growing up in that system is just what it is. You know, you grew up in there. You didn't choose to live. You didn't choose to grow up in that environment. It's just what life gave to you. So I fucked with Good Kid, Mad City so much. So then we get to, you know, like To Pimp a Butterfly, hyped, very hyped. It's hyped up. Everybody's like, damn, he's gonna beat Good Kid, Mad City, Good Kid, Mad City. And I felt like so many people forced it the first time around, man. The first time I listened to it, I did not like it. Like I did not like it. Like I'm listening to the lyrics and you know, it's amazing. The shit that he's saying is very conscious. The time and the place that the time and the placement for the album was crazy too, as we were just going through very racial times in the US, and it was just like, okay, Kendrick is bringing light to a lot of these. But then as I'm listening to every track, it's just like, why is it sounding the same jazz sound? Why is nothing different? You know, of course he had All Right, but you know, other than that though, it's just like, why is it all sounding the same? I felt like it's just not better than Good Kid, Mad City. And then I felt like as time went on, you know, there's those people out there that feel like, oh, you know, I'm being different, so I'm gonna like the album. You don't like the album, but I'm gonna like the album because I'm different. You know, a lot of people try to be that weird, different nowadays. It's just, I mean, a lot of people try to force it. I mean, some of us are really different and fucking weird, but some people just try to force that shit. Like, you know, you can't force something you're not. You know what I'm saying? It's hitting a fake ass facade that, you know, people just can't keep up. I just feel like it sometimes irks me sometimes, but a lot of people started like coming around. As you know, like I said, sometimes albums take longer to get into, but as I listened to Pimp a Butterfly more, I was like, okay, I understand the messages here. Some of these tracks are definitely fucking real. You know, a lot of lines went over my head the first time, but I'm still sitting there like, look, I am black. All right, look, it is what it is. I'm black and I'm Asian. You know, I lived in the bad parts of Miami. You know what I'm saying? I've been around fucking. You know, I've been around the Zoes. I've been around, you know, violence. I've been around, you know, drugs. I know what it is. So a lot of people too don't even know what that lifestyle is, and they're sitting there just like, oh, you know, I fucked with Kendrick because he's speaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, you grew up in fucking Beverly Hills, my dude. Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, Joe, you speaking on something you don't know for real. Like, that's just how I feel on it. But I felt like it just didn't beat it. Like, let me know what's his worst project then. That's what I want to know. All you guys are in my comment section asking me, commenting on it, and all you guys say is, did this guy really say To Pimp a Butterfly is his worst project? Oh, I'm out. Okay, so give your opinion on it. What's his worst project? And I want to hear details. I want to hear what's his worst project. And Untitled Unmastered does not count. So pick Overly Dedicated, Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, or To Pimp a Butterfly. I want to hear. I want to have this debate. I want to hear what y'all got to say, because honestly, like, y'all can speak on it. Y'all can easily say, oh yeah, oh, he's saying To Pimp a Butterfly. So what's your reasoning? What's your worst album then? I want to hear what's your worst. And I bet you a lot of people are gonna sit there and say like, damn, I don't know. I wouldn't say there's particularly a worst. No, motherfucker, you have to say what's the worst. That's why it's a best worst. When you use it in context like that though, it's not about being bad, it's just about being his worst project. It's not necessarily bad, it's just his worst project. So that's why I'm sitting there like, and like I said, man, I understand what the message was. I understand what he was getting at. And you know, and To Pimp a Butterfly, I understand it was very powerful. I mean, for God's sakes, it won him a Grammy, even though he should have won a Grammy for Good Kid, Mad City, Macklemore. But you know, I'm just saying that To Pimp a Butterfly, not saying it was overhyped, but I feel like people are sitting there just because, you know, everybody's like Kendrick, they're pro Kendrick at this point. Everybody's on the Kendrick bandwagon, and you know, Kendrick the best rapper, you know, Kendrick got the best bars, Kendrick's probably one of the best lyricists, and everybody just wants to jump on that wagon and say like, oh, I'm a Kendrick fan. Look, I'm a Kendrick fan. But everybody just want to jump on that wagon and just like, oh no, To Pimp a Butterfly, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. Like, so give me your reasonings. That's just how I feel about that. Like, I mean, to what you say. In all honesty, To Pimp a Butterfly at first was really, really hyped. It was hyped up to be better than Good Kid, Mad City. And when it failed, because it's not better than Good Kid, Mad City. I am sorry. Good Kid, Mad City is in its own stature. It is not better than Good Kid, Mad City. It is what it is. That's my opinion. But when it didn't reach that height, and it was like, oh shit, like fuck. I feel like people just was like, fuck, I forced it. I'm gonna like To Pimp a Butterfly. I'm gonna force myself to like it. The production could have been a little bit better. It could have had a little differential sounds, but you know, the lyrics were obviously there. That's not something we're complaining on from Kendrick Lamar, but from a production, from a sound standpoint, I felt like it could have been different. That's where I felt like Good Kid, Mad City was shined. It just had a story, it had a message, it had production, it had lyric, it just had everything, man. Like, it was amazing to me, and that's mine. I feel it was Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80, overly dedicated, To Pimp a Butterfly. Let me know how y'all know in the comments below. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Let me know what y'all think. And yeah, I just want to hear. What y'all got to say about it. You know, I'm not really good at these topics. You know, I'm not really. Look, I'm not a professional. I'm just here talking to y'all. This is me, Amda's opinion. I'm just here talking to y'all about it. I like to have talks like this. So yeah, let's have fun with it. As y'all see, I'm not wearing black because I'm heading the fuck out. So y'all even got to see me in non-black. All of motherfucker. I'm out. This is my nigga me. I've been fucking talking too much like always. My nigga Plizzang. Hey, and we out.